ICP still remains one of my top projects for this cycle. And the reason why is because of what's actually going on behind the scenes. This is probably one of the most bullish crypto projects by a mile if you actually look into the fundamentals and the tech behind this project. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So if you are still holding ICP today, I do think that you are on a good path for significant ROI this cycle. If we actually look at some of the price action just the last year, we did see a double bottom recently back in the beginning of February. Right now, the market definitely is still selling off. And, we have yet to actually see any relief from Bitcoin. Until then, most of these charts and most of these altcoins will continue to bleed out a bit. But for the most part, I do think that this is a pretty big opportunity. I mean, even right now, ICP is trading at prices that we really haven't seen since going back prior to, this candle from the beginning of February, since going all the way back to June of 2024. And prior to that, well, then it's going all the way back to roughly December of 2023, which is why I am treating a lot of this price action in this space as an opportunity in disguise of pain, because we know that it is painful to watch this market just continue to bleed, our portfolios continue to turn red, and a lot of these altcoins to continue to get hit even harder. But when we think about this, we also have to understand the tech, because understanding the tech, a lot of people think that the tech doesn't matter, but if the tech is good and it is being adopted and being utilized, then that is providing us with a much clearer long-term view here that these projects are going to be much bigger than what they are today. And as we really look at ICP, at a fully diluted value, I'm going to go off of the fully diluted value of $3.38 billion. I do think that this one has a great upside potential move this cycle, because I expect the overall market cap of ICP to hit at least $40 billion, which would be well over a 10x from here. But the reason for that being is because of the growth and the moves that are happening around internet computers. So let's dive on in and let's start off with some of the big news that we have seen over the last roughly 2 months. Number one, let's go back to the end of January. For a lot of people out there, you probably don't even know this, but recently ICP hit a deflationary point. Big shout to Zero to Hero Zombie for this. We actually have, boom, for the first time in the history of the ICP blockchain, the number of tokens that we have burned covered node rewards. So in January, we burned over 259,000 ICP. ICP distributed to node providers 253.4K, which is a net negative of 5.9K ICP burned. This is very bullish. Keep in mind that based on the projections of Deflationary, the team behind ICP, this goal should have been achieved in around 2 years. Therefore, we are exceeding their timeline. Based on their initial projection, ICP could become deflationary in 4.5 years from now. However, at this pace, we could achieve this goal this or next year. And yeah, listen, ICP is on a path to becoming deflationary, which means that the upside potential could be much larger than what I even, predict. Again, I'm just some random person out there. So do not just listen to what I say and say, all right, well, ICP is only going to be able to 10x from here. No, it's just a price prediction, right? They're a dime a dozen in the space. In my opinion, ICP will just become a much bigger piece of the Web3 future. Long term, we don't know where this space is headed, but in my opinion, it's much higher than where we're at now. With tokenization set to completely disrupt the space, we could hit $10 trillion of market cap pretty quick. After that, the sky's the limit. But outside of just the deflationary aspect of ICP, let's actually look quick at the network. So I have been fully focused on the network for quite some time. And one thing that I've been mainly looking at when it comes to ICP is the canisters, aka the dApps and smart contracts. If we look at the all-time chart on this, we could see a massive step function taking place here. And what I mean by that is if we look at this, right, up until around the middle of, 2024, around like the end of March, April, we went from 410,000 canisters to over 485,000. And this was in just a few days. After that, the next big step was actually around October, where we're at 589,000, and we went up to 761,000. Today, we're at 911,000. So think about how crazy that is. From the beginning of 2024, which we were at roughly, 373,000, we're now at 911,000 dApps and smart contracts on ICP. That is mind-blowing. Now, also transactions. If we look at the transactions in the last year, we could see that this is down, okay? Now, the number one thing that I've been focused on with any of these networks is, how the transactions are really kind of working out compared to the network growth. So far, we actually haven't seen transactions on ICP keep up with the growth of like the smart contracts and the dApps, which definitely is something to be concerned about. This is one negative about ICP, because I'm not going to just be biased and say everything's bullish here. But if we zoom out on the all-time chart, we could see that this has been pretty stable for the most part. And we do have significant spikes up around like peak times where we do, start to see a lot of adoption or growth of certain aspects of ICP. I do expect the transactions on ICP to really kind of kick up as we do start to see more developments, especially through the integrations that recently did happen, which we will get to here in a moment. Which again is why I keep focused, on like the long-term path here, especially for any project in the space that's working with enterprise customers, like Hedera, for example. If you look at Hedera's transactions, they have slowed down significantly. But when we think about enterprises, once they do finally go live with any of their smart contracts or their dApps or any solution that they're utilizing from these networks, that's when we'll see transactions really heat up in a big way, which also leads to, growth of the network, demand of the network, and in ICP's case, well, deflationary aspects. But outside of that, we could also see the cycle burn rate as well. And up until recently, I mean, this thing just went absolutely parabolic towards the end of 2024 into the beginning of this year. So we're definitely focused on that aspect. But outside of that, ICP's overall network has been growing at a massive, massive rate. And in fact, even the brain power, right? Like the actual power usage of, ICP has been off the charts compared to other networks, including even Reef, as we could see. This is insane. This is mindshare, by the way. And if we're thinking about the AI space and we're thinking about like mindshare in general, this is actually very, very bullish. Also, if we take a quick look at social engagements, top DPIN projects by social activity, ICP was a big player. And this goes back to February 15th, roughly. So like the middle of the month. But again, I still want to put a spotlight on how much engagement there is around the ICP community and how many interactions there are as well. And ICP, it's been off the charts. And if we think about this, it's all because of what's actually happening behind ICP. Like, for an example, the actual ecosystem that's powering ICP. When we think about Bitcoin, right, ICP is actually providing utility for Bitcoin. For those that actually don't know, ICP is a big game changer for the Bitcoin network. And we can actually see Bitcoin in the top left. This is all through like Chain Fusion, by the way. You could also see the wallets, the DeFi, the EVM, the infrastructure and dev tooling as well. The ICP ecosystem has been growing rapidly. And this is also why we're starting to see as much, growth of the network itself, and even the deflationary aspects being highlighted. It's all because of this. The ecosystem for ICP is starting to grow in a big way, and I'm very excited about this. And I do think that this year is going to be even bigger for the ecosystem. Outside of that, though, we also have, of course, the contracts deployed on Internet Computer as well in Q4 of 2024. So this reached an all-time high, and again, this is why I wanted to share with you guys the canisters. So 287,000 in Q4 alone. That's insane. So developer adoption on the Internet Computer, as measured by new canister smart contracts, grew by 6x year over year. And we could see that from Q4 of 2023 to Q4 of 2024. This is why I'm telling you guys that Internet Computer is going to be a massive winner in the space. the amount of adoption, the amount of activity on internet computer is just ridiculous. And then we think about some of the moves being made. For an example, the Elliptic integration. They partnered up with Elliptic, which Elliptic is like a compliance centric analytic platform in the space. And we actually have foundation to set new standards in blockchain security and compliance across the internet computer protocol ecosystem. This partnership allows institutions and enterprises to leverage the power of internet computer smart contract capabilities together with our comprehensive tools to build innovative products and services that adhere to the highest compliance and security protocols. And Elliptic is a pretty big name in this space at this point. Everyone should pay attention to what they are doing because they are providing a great sort of pathway to having these networks actually adopt it much more by the institutional side of TradFi and even Web 2, but also even the enterprise side as well. So I think that this is definitely a big one to focus on. And outside of this, there was also another big integration, which was with Luca or Lucca. So partnering with Luca to integrate advanced blockchain analytics into the ICP ecosystem, this collaboration enhances security, compliance, and supports broader institutional adoption. And here we actually have a little bit about Luca. So if we look at their breakdown here, this is the global leader in enterprise data management for digital assets. Again, we're starting to see that path cleared for ICP to be fully integrated by the enterprise side. Even Elliptic was fully focused on the institutional, but also the enterprise side for those, players that want to leverage the power of, ICP. Now, if we go back over here, we could see some of the ways that they actually help businesses, funds and fund administrators, traditional financial institutions and banks, crypto native businesses, CPAs and chartered accountants, government agencies, and even regulators. And we could see trusted by all of these big names in the Web 2 and the TradFi space. You have State Street on here, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Valkyrie as well, the S&P Dow Jones indices. I mean, guys, these are some very large names. BNY Mellon's on here as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, this is truly one of the biggest players in this space around data for the institutional side of things. And of course, here we actually have the announcement: Internet Computer integrates Luca Analytics to advance blockchain monitoring and institutional readiness. Again, they're trying to make ICP, a full foundational player in the enterprise grade adoption aspect, but also the institutional grade adoption aspect as well, because right now it's all about the institutional side and even the enterprise side. And there's a few quotes in here that I will go over. Number one is from Luca themselves. We are excited to support Internet Computer Protocol, a groundbreaking project in the blockchain space. Our analytics solutions will provide the ICP ecosystem and its partners with high precision, regulatory ready data to support ICP's goal of reshaping the Web 3.0 ecosystem. Through our collaboration, we are setting a benchmark for data reliability and compliance in blockchain applications. Then we have, by integrating ICP into Luca's enterprise-grade platform, institutions can confidently manage and report on their ICP transactions with the same rigor as traditional assets. This collaboration paves the way for streamlined compliance, transparent pricing, and ultimately broader institutional adoption. So yeah, this is very exciting for ICP. And again, ICP is perfectly positioned to take on the enterprise and even the institutional side of, adoption. I think that as we do start to see these big use cases being launched by enterprises and institutions, they're going to be flocking to networks like Internet Computer because of the scalability aspect, because of the cost, the efficiencies, and again, what Internet Computer and the DFINITY team are building and providing for this space, it's next level. Through all their AI initiatives, through their initiatives to actually provide use case value for Bitcoin and really kind of push Web 3.0 further. I'm very excited for Internet Computer, and I think that everyone should focus on these projects like ICP that are heavily oversold right now, that are back to levels that we haven't seen since going back to like 2023, because they are definitely big opportunities in this space from the fundamental aspect, from the utility aspect as well. And I just think that ICP is going to be a much bigger player in this space than what a lot of people assume it to be. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.